I love that song. Like a flame reaching to the sky, turning pain into light. Peace will find a way. Peace will find a way, right?
Peace is the way.
Peace is the way. So my talk title today is Pieces into Peace. And that's the theme this month in the Center for Spiritual Living. Pieces into peace. Because have you ever felt like your world was falling to pieces and you didn't know what to do? Today we're going to look at tools in our spiritual toolkit to have a grand rising from those pieces into peace, revealing that deep inner peace. Because when it does feel like everything's falling apart and into pieces, confusion, upset, worry, disease, fear, how in the heck can we find peace? When we're confused and asleep in the illusion of separation from our good, there is no peace in our world. And I know some of us are experiencing that right now. So take a breath. And I just thank God that we have tools, spiritual tools and wisdom that can help us awaken and rise to that truth that Dr. Ernest Holmes, our founder, said, peace is always at the center of our own soul. I tune into the peace at the center of my soul. Say that. I tune into peace at the center of my soul. Again. I tune into peace at the center of my soul. That's all you have to say. And sometimes it's helpful to put a hand over our heart, because as we know, that sends a signal to the nervous system that you're safe, you're okay. I tune into the peace at the center of my soul. Even when there's a tornado happening all around you. So Ernest Holmes also wrote this beautiful essay in 1954 called The Peace That Conquers. He said, you and I know that no matter how confused we are, anybody ever been confused? If we will get by ourselves long enough and think peace, we shall become peaceful. Peace is the divine reality at the heart of God. It is an announcement of the presence of God, and God is peace. And again, you can substitute the word God if you like, or spirit, or source. We want peace on earth. Let us first pray for peace in our own hearts. Let us affirm peace in our own minds. Let us live as though peace were the mandate of God, because it is. He says, let us, out of the stillness of our own soul, reach back to that ineffable presence, which is peace, and proclaim it even in the midst of confusion. Peace, which is the power at the heart of God. Take a breath. Because sometimes it takes experiencing not peace to have an awakening and rise up with a longing for that inner peace, right? Life can seem like it's happening to us, and we can feel like a victim of circumstances. We've all been there. And when this happens, we are tending to live life unconsciously, feeling separate from everything and everyone. You ever been there? Mm-hmm. Not peace includes being reactive to a situation that we're triggered by. We talked about that a couple weeks ago. Triggered by something someone said, or by something someone didn't say, or an event in the world, or something going on in our own lives, a health challenge, a financial stressor, an upset. We can feel hurt, angry, overwhelmed, out of control, and more. Whoopee! And it can feel like our life is in pieces. And we don't know what to do. But we do. We do. You do. And I'm going to remind you today. You know, I was thinking about this. I fell and broke my ribs, 3 ribs, a couple years ago. And I was so miserable because it was so painful. I couldn't function very well. And I was not at peace. I admit it. I was not a happy camper. And I would remember saying to myself, oh, I'll be so happy when this is all over. I'll be so peaceful when I can get out and walk again. I'll be so happy when fill in the blank. I'll be so happy when this heat wave is gone. I'll be so happy and peaceful when I have blah, blah, blah. Have you ever said that to yourself? Yes. Because then I realized, I caught myself, and I'd be like, no, I teach this. Don't delay your peace. Don't delay your happiness. Don't put it off until this thing happens. I'll be so happy when, no, I'm happy now. Can I be? So I stopped playing victim, and I resolved my upset into realizing that it is what it is. I'm uncomfortable, yet I can choose to be at peace. I can choose to just be with it. I don't have to like it. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So think about a time when you were experiencing not peace. And maybe you are right now. And you noticed it, maybe, from this teaching. You noticed it. And I know a lot of you tell me this, like, oh, I caught it quick. And then I had an opportunity to come back to my center, come back to peace. This too shall pass. That's one of my favorite things. When I'm all gnarled up, this too shall pass. And I can choose to feel something different. I can choose to feel better. So I'm going to show you this, and I want you to just register in your mind what you see initially, okay? Everybody see it?
Oh, I see.
Okay, so what do you see?
Peace is now here.
Peace is nowhere?
No, now
Oh,
here.
now here. Oh. Interesting, huh? I just got God bumps. So it's our perception. We can say that about the world. Peace is nowhere, or peace is now here, and affirm what it is we do want. We know that in this philosophy. We pay more attention to what we do want than what we don't want. And it takes practice and practice and practice and repetition. Say with me, I tune into the peace at the center of my soul.
I tune into the peace at the center of my soul.
Breathe it in, because it's there. It might be covered up a little bit, but it's there. I'm going to pull it out of some of you. So what is peace then? What does peace mean to you? Is it peace of your body? Is it peace of mind? Is it peace in a relationship? Exploring what peace is can help us awaken to the truth again that is ever present within us. And that way, we know we can access it whenever we need it, especially when we're experiencing not peace. Because awareness is the first step in healing, awareness of anything. Peace moves us from the feeling of being separate into the realization of the oneness of all that is. I love what Dr. Ernest Holmes says in the textbook, in the glossary. He defines peace as this: a state of inner calm, an inner calm so complete that nothing can disturb it. The peace which comes only from the knowledge that it is all. Fathomless peace is meant by the peace of the Spirit. This is the peace to which Jesus referred to when he said, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you." The infinite is always at peace because there's nothing to disturb it. A realization of our oneness with omnipresence brings peace, the peace which is accompanied by a consciousness of power. Yeah, peace. So as Carrie mentioned, I'm starting a new book study this week on Dennis Merritt Jones' book, When Fear Speaks, Listen. Powerful book. And I want to read a little bit about that. And if you're interested, it starts on Tuesday. Highly recommend it, just 4 weeks. The information is on the back of your bulletin. So Dennis says, while the faces of fear are legion, in the context of this book, the 7 most prevalent disguises that fear hides behind are anger, worry, judgment, selfishness, shame, loneliness, and uncertainty. And I have to say, all of those take us out of peace, don't they? They're not peace. So he says, each of these messengers of fear bring along a host of other descendants. Oh, we're going to learn about those descendants. While some people may not see these 7 messengers as fear in disguise, that is precisely what they are. Once we elevate our perspective and refocus our perception of fear, we will be able to see it for what it really is and isn't. Same thing, perception. Perhaps it's time to give fear a new identity, to break it down piece by piece. There's the piece, from piece to piece. For eons, humans have perceived fear as a brutal enemy, a merciless opponent to fight, avoid, negotiate with, or try to outrun. With this mindset, though, our innate response to fear pours gasoline on the fire, generating more fear. Haven't you been there before when you start worrying about something and something else shows up and you get to worry about that and you get on that mental merry-go-round and you can't get off? Woo! It's not a stretch of the imagination to say that fear is the single most misunderstood impulse of energy in the human condition. With mindfulness, courage, and clear intention, that can change. When we learn to listen to these 7 messengers of fear proactively, taking the class, we can transcend the reactive reptilian brain, which then allows us to face everything and rethink. Fear. Fear. Face everything and rethink. You know, we've heard, what was the other one? False evidence appearing real. That's another one. But this is Dennis Merritt Jones, which is what we're going to work with in this class. Face everything and rethink. So science and mindy, isn't it? Hello. Change your thinking, change your life. Good students. So take a breath. I invite you to turn within for a moment. And again, just relax. Close your eyes if it's comfortable. Relax your shoulders. Just do a mindful practice for a moment of just looking at your body or feeling your body and just noticing places where you're holding tension right now. Any tightness. And just imagine it's an invitation to pause, to acknowledge, to just be aware. Feel your feet on the earth, feel yourself connected to Mother Earth, and also open at the top. And take a deep breath. And as you breathe in, I'm going to invite you on the count of 3 to exhale loudly, exhaling anything unlike peace. So what we're going to do is breathe in the idea of peace, and then on the count of 3, you're just going to exhale whatever doesn't feel like peace to you. So 1, breathe in, 2, breathe in 3, peace. Exhale anything unlike peace. I invite you to do it again. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3, exhale. Exhale. Anything unlike peace, just let it go. Use your imagination. Again, breathing in, feeling peace. 1, 2, invite it in. Let it go. Whatever's not holding on to, whatever's not like peace. Okay, and then relax. Just feel what you feel. Saint Teresa of Avila said, let nothing disturb you. Let nothing frighten you. All things pass away. God never changes. Patience attains all things. He who has God lacks for nothing. God alone suffices. And we breathe. And you can come back. And let's affirm, I tune into the peace at the center of my soul.
I tune into the peace at the center of my soul.
And maybe you just felt it for a second when you did a mindful practice. It doesn't have to be a long time. So in yoga, we have a pose called the warrior pose, right? The warrior pose. Does this look familiar to some of you who practice yoga? Well, sometimes, and in this pose, we feel, I always tell my students, feel rooted and grounded and courageous and powerful, right? Okay, I will. But sometimes, the warrior pose comes in. Just change the A to O. From warrior to warrior. Why is everybody looking at me? Am I doing it right? Can I do anything right? I wonder what I'll have for lunch today. I don't know. This just kind of hurts my back. I feel very courageous.
So true.
I always wonder in my classes, what is really going through their mind? Because we all do that. So turning those pieces into inner peace. So when we become confused, I know you never do, but in case, stop and listen to your inner self. Be willing to turn from that confusion to that deeper place within. Just be willing. Repeat after me. I am surrounded by peace.
I am surrounded by peace.
I am immersed in peace.
I am immersed in peace.
There is nothing but peace.
There is nothing but peace.
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 Deep calm.
Deep calm.
Undisturbed.
Undisturbed.
Feels better, doesn't it? So there's a quick emergency plan that you can do that can transform those pieces into peace. It's called Stop, Drop, and Pray. Now, I've given you before the STOP acronym in my version, but this is a little different. Stop whatever you're doing and notice without judgment that you're not feeling peaceful. Just notice it. And give yourself permission to turn away from the condition. Go outside. Take a breath. Go get a drink of water. Get up. Go, whatever. Do something different. So stop and notice without judgment that you're not feeling peaceful. That's all you have to do. Then drop. Drop from your head into your heart space, which we do a lot here. And just breathe. Go within. Again, placing your hand on your heart is very helpful. It sends a signal to your brain, believe me, that you are safe and you are loved. Drop. And then pray. Now, pray is a big word for you. Just open to a blessing. Pray as peace, knowing only good and greater good is in my life and unfolding in my world. And I affirm that what I do want is coming something to me and I turn my power to the divine, I turn within, I accept my greater good, whatever you want to say, you just do a ramble of appreciation. Right? So stop, drop, and
Pray.
pray. Because really, think about it, no matter what the appearance is of your outer world, and how many pieces of upset or confusion or doubt seem to be around you, you can absolutely know that there's a power for good in the universe and you can use it. That's our other motto here at the Science of Mind. You can use it to discover the higher truth of inner peace right now, because you're never separate from that peace, even if it doesn't look like it. Thich Nhat Hanh, the great Zen Buddhist, said every breath we take, every step we make, can be filled with peace, joy, and serenity. And I add, if you choose. So, when we think of the idea of pieces, it's not always a negative thing. So I want you to think about those pieces, that uniting things is the natural order, that joining together of pieces is how things are formed. So atoms come together to form molecules that make up cells, and cells come together to form living organisms. Have you ever worked on a jigsaw puzzle? We break pictures into pieces only to have the joy of putting them back together. So maybe your life is like a jigsaw puzzle right now. Oh boy, I'm ready to put it back together. Artists bring tiny pieces of clay and shells and glass and tile and create mosaics. They take those pieces and put them into something beautiful. Composers put notes together to form symphonies and songs. Singers join their voices to create harmony. Weavers take threads and combine them into tapestries, just as quilters join pieces of fabric into beautiful quilts. And writers piece together words to create prose and poetry. Pieces into peace. Coming together, uniting those pieces, discarding what doesn't work, and then create order, peace, and harmony in our life. We're going to close with this from the Science of Mind, this new magazine this month. Today's reading. Today, as we set sail on a journey to the very heart of peace, it might feel like an unattainable dream. But when we look at peace through the sacred eyes of spirit, we realize that inner peace is not a dream for the future. It's a practice of many small steps that combine to create a new way of life. It's an adventure of spirit. Peace is a friend who never leaves, a friend who reminds us that these challenging pieces of our lives are not separate from the peace of divine love. Peace lives right here within us, illuminated by the simple sacred moments of this day. What a beautiful reminder. Let's commit today to being grounded in peace, to being willing to pause, to stop, drop, and pray. Say with me once more, I tune into the peace at the center of my soul.
I tune into the peace at the center of my soul.
One more time.
I tune into the peace at the center of my soul.
Just breathe that in. Recognizing that there's that power for good in the universe and you are using it right now. You can claim, you can plant this seed of peace right now in your own heart. And trust and have faith that whatever is circulating around you that is not peace can come to a revealing for a healing, whether that's the physical body, mental body, or emotional body. right now, I know and claim for each of you that something is shifting. Something is opening in your consciousness and heart to the greater good, to that idea of peace. Peace, be still. So we simply allow it to be. And in gratitude, we just say thank you, life.